Hello again, welcome back to Asgard, and welcome back to All the Mods 6. So of course last episode we got our first kind of small pyramid built, and I've done a little bit of work since the last episode, but not a whole lot. Basically just built a floor. We'll go over there here in just a second. Also lured over a cow. And for what we're going to be doing today, we're going to start into a mod that we're going to be using quite a bit within our build. There's a handful of mods that I kind of want to focus on within this series and do a lot of our stuff with. One of those is Mana and Artifice. Another is Elemental Craft. Another is Create. But today we're going to start off with a different mod. Let's go ahead and get ourselves 2 cauldrons, just for good measure. Let's grab our bucket. And today we'll be starting kind of into the basics and doing a little bit of automation with it. But then in the coming episodes, we're going to continue expanding it. So let's pop down here. You can see I've built out a floor. This area is actually going to get rooms, and this little pen is kind of temporary. It's going to see some changes, but for right now, I just need to keep this safe so that it did not die. And what we have down here is a cow. So let's go ahead and milk our cow. And we're going to take the milk, and we are going to curdle it into cheese. And we're going to need a bit of this, to be honest. There we go. And if you hadn't guessed yet, the mod that we're going to be working on today is going to be rats. So we're going to get ourselves a bit of cheese, and we can just take this cheese and turn it into cheese. Our blocks of cheese, turn it into cheese. Let's go ahead and grab that. I want a bit of this to get started with, though we are going to automate this pretty quickly, I think. That should be good. That should be more than enough. And I would also like to, just to kind of make our lives a little bit easier, I would like to go ahead and get a rat cage or 2, just to kind of help out. Just so that way we kind of have a place where we can store some rats. They tend to be pretty common around my base. I think I have one over here that's been stuck for a while. Yeah, he's stuck inside the industrial hemp. But I tend to come across them a lot. A whole lot on here. Let's get that. And then let's get ourselves a couple rat cages. Now, each rat cage can hold a couple rats, but I want it mainly for breeding our rats, as well as kind of storing our rats, and we're going to use it a little bit more in the future. Yeah, come here. I'm going to feed you. I'm going to throw it on the ground. He's going to eat it. And we're going to keep feeding him until he likes us, basically. Just keep eating. It's going to take quite a few feedings. That's why we wanted a lot of cheese. Go ahead. Nom, 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 nom. Oh, you're inside the block. Don't stand inside the block. Are you drowning? Quit drowning. Get up out of the water. Go on. Luckily, this food is healing him, as you can see, but now in my experience, there tends to be usually some bugs with this mod, with different upgrades or with just different things. So hopefully we don't come across those, maybe. Would you please eat this cheese? Eat some cheese. Eat some cheese. There we go. We have a tamed rat. And we can right-click to open him up. Let's actually, yeah, shift right click. And he is going to get up on our head, in this case. Sometimes he'll get up on our shoulders, if we've got a few of them. It takes like basically 10 cheese to get them up to where they are tameable, and then it'll take a few more after that to tame it. So quite a bit of cheese, but cheese is easy enough to make since cows are infinitely milkable. Let me go ahead and sleep to get it day. I really don't want any mobs coming out, but I'd like to get into breeding them pretty quickly. This is a male. Okay. Let's go ahead and take him down here, and let's take our rat cage, and we're just going to set this up, say, here, and we're just going to click that and deposit our rat. Oops. Deposit our rat. Stay in there. So we have a male rat now. Now, in order to actually breed these, we are going to have to go out and find ourselves a female, which is going to be basically like a 50-50 chance that we come across a female. Now, normally the rats are going to dig through the ground and make a big old mess of your base, and defending against rats is kind of a priority, which will involve you getting cats or rat traps, or killing them on sight, because they will make quite a bit of a mess and dig holes everywhere and stuff. But with FTB chunk claim, it seems like they're unable to do that. So we don't really have to worry too much about them. They will try to steal crops and stuff. They've ate a few things that have dropped on the ground. They've also stolen some of my essences and stuff that fall from my essence farm. But overall, I mean, that's not really a big concern. So I haven't worried too much about them so far. And also, normally they will try to run away. And the more you feed them, the less that they will run away. And but we got lucky with that one in that he was kind of stuck. The swamp actually seems like a great place to tame rats because they tend to get stuck on things. And it's funny, now that I need a rat, I can't find any. Normally they're running everywhere, and now I can't find any. So what we might do, just to increase our chance of getting a rat, is we might make some garbage. That way we shouldn't have too much issue with our rats. And let's pop over real quick. And what's it take to make... I'd really like this one. That's going to take purifying liquid. We're not going to be ready for that yet, so... we'll just have to make a regular garbage pile in that case. So what we're going to do, let's get ourselves a trash can from rats. This one right here. I guess I could have used my other cauldron for this, but there we go. There is our trash can. We're going to take that, and let's get a handful of cobblestone. And what we can do is we can sit down the trash can and we can just take like cobblestone, and we can right click it and start dumping in that cobblestone, and we're going to get piles of garbage as we do that. So may as well go ahead and throw the whole stack away. Now hoppers and stuff like that will work as well, so we can use that also. Okay, we got enough. Let's take this, and we're going to go ahead and compact that and get a compressed garbage. That way we're just going to get more rats. We're not going to leave it down indefinitely because we'll get swarmed with rats extremely quickly. But we're going to use it for just a moment here. Basically, I just want like one rat. I just want a female rat. That's all I want. And actually, what would probably be even better, I think, is just setting up a little area here. And we'll put that in right there. And then hopefully, after a little bit, we should get some rats to spawn. We'll just let that run for a little bit, and then hopefully we'll get a rat or two spawned inside that little box. I think what we'll probably do is set a room up for rats that maybe we want to tame. Have a little room set up with a redstone lamp, and that way we can turn the lights on and off to toggle spawning on and off from our garbage piles. But of course, the more garbage piles that you have, the better chance that you're going to get something. So I'm going to go ahead and just make a bit more garbage. Let me throw in, there we go. There's 5. And then this will also make it a little bit easier to kind of get these blocked in. Let me build it one more high. And we'll go ahead and put some more, oops. We'll put a little bit more garbage down in there. And then we'll just fill that in a little bit. That should all be, for the most part, mob spawnable. There we go. Okay. Okay, there's something white over here now. So maybe we got our first... Yeah, we got our first rat spawn. Okay. So, let's go ahead and toss that down. And hopefully we're going to get a female. If we don't get lucky, that's fine. We'll just try again. But yeah, this is a whole lot easier than trying to find them, I think. And if you have a plague rat, you'll know it if it's got the plague, because it's going to be all mangy and green and nasty looking. There we go. We got it tamed. We got another male. Okay. Well, that's fine. So we'll just go ahead, break this off, and hopefully let it spawn another one. This male rat, let's just put him in this cage for just a second. And so we've got 2 males, and I guess since we have 2 males, our first rat that we're going to be using for some automation, we are going to just use one of these males for that. And the first thing that we are going to be making is a milkmaid rat, just to go ahead and automate cheese making. So what we're going to have to do is make one of these. And I probably will have to make some more cheese in a moment. Yeah, it wasn't as much cheese as it felt like. Felt like it was going to be a lot, but it didn't last very long. So basic rat upgrade, and then we're going to upgrade that to the milk upgrade. Pop over to the village. I don't have much here for crafting at the moment. But I'm thinking that we're going to be handling a lot of our automation with rats, and then also with mana and artifice golems, and some stuff like that. Then we're going to need some raw beef. And also while we're over here, let's take a look at the Curdling Station. That's going to be a hopper and some glass, as well as a bit of cheese. So we'll get that here in just a moment. And then we need 4 leather and 3 beef. I'm not sure that I've got that. I've got the 4 leather, but I do not have the beef that we're going to need. Yeah, I want the Kobe beef. Kobe beef. So it looks like I'm going to have to go out and find a couple cows just to kill. Realistically, it shouldn't take more than like a couple kills, to be honest. And the nice thing is our work with rats is going to lead us into some better armor. It's also going to be leading us into better foods, because we're going to be going with both of those through rats, I do believe. So, oh, resourceful bees. I almost started that today. We're going to have a lot of like entities in our base, I think. We're going to have bees, quite a bit of bees, and we're going to have quite a bit of rats and golems and all that fun stuff. Aha, I see some cows over here. Usually I don't have to go too far for them. Yeah, here we go. We should be able to get plenty of beef. I'm going to kill this other one too. But let's hop back over. Oh, I can't get my... There we go. Trying to get my speed going. Doesn't look like we have any more rats in there. They're going to show up as white dots, though they're not the only thing that shows up as a white dot. Did my cow? Okay. I was about to say, I hope he didn't despawn. It's going to be painful. He shouldn't despawn in there. There was our milkmaid. We are going to need just a little bit more cheese also for our curdling station. Oh, looks like we do have a rat over there, though. And we'll be able to breed 4 additional colors, like, in order to get additional colors, not 4 different colors. We'll be able to breed to get additional colors. And we're going to be working on that as well. That's another reason we want to rush rat breeding. Plus, it just makes our lives a little bit easier to be able to just breed rats. Oh, there's Plague Doctor. What's he got? 2 emeralds for 4 rat cages. Banner pattern for rats. Oh, that's also really, really good. That's for a boss. We'll get into that. Honestly, I think I may go ahead and get the banner patterns. Because we will use those, I think. Because naturally, we're going to have some banners here. Hopefully, he'll hang out for just a second, because I'm going to have to go over there and get a couple emeralds. There we go. We have another male. Okay. Let's go ahead and pop on over and get a couple emeralds just so we can buy those. Because naturally, I'm going to need rat and cheese banners on this temple. Because this is going to be the temple where we worship the mighty rat. The cornerstone of our civilization, I think. Let me just grab all these for now. We're going to have to get some villagers up and going, because I do think we're going to do a bit with villagers. Now, in this version of Tinkers, we could just melt down villagers for emeralds. But I don't think we're going to go that route. We've done that route in the past, and I don't know. I want to do something a little bit different for our emeralds. So I want this. And I want this. And let's actually buy a couple rat cages off of him. And maybe some... Yeah, we'll take this too, just in case we end up with a plague effect. And yeah, he can't level up, so... Yeah, but that gives us a couple more rat cages. Because we're going to be using a lot of those for not just decorating, but actually for having a lot of rats in cages. By the end of things, we're actually probably going to have a whole bunch of rats in cages. Okay, now we're going to get our curdling station. And that way we can go ahead and automate some cheese making. I'm going to have to put some kind of storage over here for the cheese making. But if you put in milk, this will take just a little bit and then it'll make cheese. So, there we go. There's a block of cheese right there. And then we can take that. So what we're going to do at this point, let's see, we'll have to see if the rats can still go underneath the gate or not, because I'm not sure if they will. But let's set up our curdling station right here. Let's pop into here. Let's open this guy up. We're going to put in our milkmaid upgrade into our rat. And we're going to say, I think harvest, right? And then let's make ourselves a cheese staff. Oh yeah, he's milking right now, I think. So we're going to shift right click that rat, and we're going to say you can take your cheese and deposit items in the curdling station right there. And then we're also going to set his home point to just right here. So that's going to be your home point, and you're going to deposit items into there. Well, he's got his little bucket, but he's not taking it to the curdling station. He may not be able to go through this anymore. I know there was a time when they could go under gates and stuff. But let's try this. I need you to milk that cow is what I need you to do. Go, go. And what's it take to make the ethereal upgrade? I mean, we're going to change this room up a little bit, but just kind of getting an idea. This one here, yeah, we're going to have to go to Ratlantis before we can do that, but you are just not milking. Okay, he's just ignoring me completely. Let's try this then. And let me just put some blocks in here just so my rats don't go exploring in the water. It's not going to stay cobblestone, but we're going to bring this out just a little bit. Just so hopefully my rats don't decide they want to go swimming. Because I'd rather avoid that if we can. Let's put in a drawer here, and this will get moved a little bit as we build this room out, but kind of just want to get my cheese automation going. And let's take this rat, hop on here. Let's get... Really, we don't need anything for this rat, any kind of upgrade. At least not at the moment, unless we decide to add something. Yeah, I don't even need that. Let's put him down right there, and we're going to shift right click to bind that rat. We're going to set his home to be right here. We're going to take items from the curdling station and deposit the items into that drawer. So go work now. Which he's only going to be able to move them like one at a time unless we make an upgrade for like platter, so we can carry more, but we don't need to carry a lot. This is just going to be making cheese steadily. So go. Oh, whoops. And let me also set this to, right now he's set to follow me. We're going to set him to gather items. No, sorry, not gather items. Transport items. That's what I want to do. Don't actually want you to gather them. So we should be good. But he's not really doing his job. He's really confused by the gate. There we go. He's working. He is working now. That's awesome. Okay. Maybe you have to... You are just very confused by that cow. I don't know why. But at least this one's working for transporting. We might just... I don't know. Alright, let me try to restart and see if that maybe fixes it. Okay, after restarting this seems to be working now. You can see he's running over. It just needed a restart, I guess. He was getting stuck. I didn't change anything else. So if we take a look here at our rat, if I can grab him, but that's fine. He shouldn't wander off now, because he's pretty much dedicated to milking this cow. As soon as there is space within the curdling station, he rushes off. I know it shows in the UI. The UI is a little bit buggy. But we have 14 blocks of cheese, and we will see this go up. Yeah, there's 15. The UI in this thing is just really, really broken at the moment, it looks like. But he is going over as soon as a piece of cheese is made, milking and keeping that filled at 5,000 millibuckets. And then this one is just grabbing the cheese immediately and dumping it into our chest here, until the chest eventually fills up with 32 stacks of cheese. We will move things around just a little bit and kind of clean this room up, because we're going to have basically just a little dedicated milking station for our rats. That way they can fuel our rat empire with more and more rats. Alright, let's see if we can finally get a female rat, though. We've got a couple down here, and start feeding these rats. Eat, eat, my children. But I think this mod will be kind of a fun... If we focus kind of on rats and magic mods. I do know there's been some issues on and off with the power system for rats, but I think it's fixed now. If an issue does come up, we'll just wait and kind of hold off a little bit until it gets fixed. But I'm thinking, I mean, this mod, you'll encounter bugs in my experience, but usually with a little bit of trial and error, you can kind of work through them. And that's kind of our goal here. Is just to do as much as we can with the rats. Hopefully we find a female, though. We're not really having a whole lot of luck with females. I think it was, there we go. Now they are both tamed. Let's go ahead. You are a male. That's fine. Some other males died on me. And what about you? A female. We do have a female. Great. Okay, so we're going to put these in the same rat cage together. So we've got our male and female in there. Now let's take a look at the... What's it take to make the rat breeding lantern? Redstone lamp string. Okay, easy enough. Okay, so there is our breeding lantern. And there's lots of different cage decorations. We're going to get into that a little bit more. Right now we're probably going to be moving these cages around a bit. And I'm probably going to cut here in a minute and just go ahead and build out these areas that we've got. But we'll get into that. That way we can make it a little bit nicer and kind of get an idea of what we're going to have in here. Probably while I edit down some footage, I imagine. But we're going to put in that. And... oh, they're stacked on top of each other right now. But if we give them a second, we should get some babies. How are we doing on 53 things of cheese? Alright, great. Let me go ahead and just... yeah, we'll just chunk load this little area. What sort of chunk loaders do we have in this pack? I mean, I know we got 25 chunks there. We actually may not have any chunk loaders. So I may have to add a chunk loading mod to this pack. We'll see. But these should make some babies, and after a while, they should become full-grown adults. But I can't see the pinkies in there. They might be just underneath. Yeah, right down there. You can see right underneath the parents, there's like that little slug-looking thing. That is a pinky. But at this point, we're going to have to give it a little bit of time for that pinky to grow to a full adult. But then we will be able to make our rats that way. But we will still have this, basically the spawning room. I'm going to expand it out, and we're going to have it be able to be redstone toggle. That way we can generate some rats. And it'll be useful until we get a fully fledged like rat killing area, because we are going to need a lot of rat drops. But this little area will be good for us for both killing rats and spawning rats, and then we'll get something set up for like a full killing system. Oh, the cheese, the cheese. Okay, so at this point I'm going to cut, and I'm going to basically just build out these rooms. They're basically going to serve the exact same purpose as what we've got. We're going to have a milk production area. Realistically, we could go crazy and have a bunch of curdling stations and a bunch of milkmaids, but honestly, one is going to be more than enough. As you can see, these things are generating basically as fast as this thing runs, which is like 5, 6, 7 seconds or something like that. So we're getting cheese at a very good rate. So at least for right now, I think we're just going to stick with one curdling station. I do believe. But give me just a little bit here. I'm going to build out some of these rooms and let our pinkies become fully grown, and I'll be back in a little bit. Okay, so I've spent some time building out these rooms, and so now we have basically like what's going to be a rat breeding room. Of course, it's not done. I'm not going to leave torches just sitting on the floor, but just trying to get something in place. And this isn't going to be an open area. This is going to be kind of like rooms that interconnect, maybe some hallways and stuff. But we have our little garbage area here, and garbage all around. Nothing could spawn on there because, of course, it's lit up. And then back in here, we actually have a little rat spawning room, and this door, I can let them into this pen one at a time or a couple at a time or whatever. And if I shut off the light, then it's going to begin spawning rats in there. And that way, if we want to tame or we want to get some drops for now until we get automated killing in place, we can do that. And then back in here, we have kind of our cheese storage room in here. And I set up a little pen for the cow with this nasty decayed hay bales here. And then our big pile of cheese. And then I went ahead and moved this back. That way our rat actually moves a little bit more and takes it over there. And yeah, that's pretty much what I've done so far. And looks like we actually have quite a few rats in here. It's been breeding. Right click, there we go. We released 4 rats from the cages. We have a male. We're going to put him, and there's a pinky in there. We're going to put him back in there. We got our female. Let's take her and put her back in the cage. And another male. I'm just going to put him in there. And actually, let me release these 2, and let me actually put them into a... there you go. Put them into a different cage. There we go. And since there's a pinky in there, I'm going to wait till it's fully grown, but we're going to shift right click the top and just take our rat breeding lantern off and put it into that one. And that way, those can start breeding in there. And then once this pinky's fully grown, I'll take it out and put it over here, the cage over here. And then we've got, wait a second, how did I actually set this to stay here, and you are already set to stay here, because I've noticed with the cages sometimes they wander out even though they're not supposed to. I want you guys to sit still. And I'm thinking like breeding cages over here and like housing cages over here or something is kind of my plan. And that way we can start generating some rats. I actually had some pinkies fully grow. If we take a look here, you can see I killed a rat. I had some pinkies fully grow and they came out and were following me around. It seemed like, but yeah. And then I killed one because I thought it was a wild rat, and it wasn't. It wasn't a wild rat. But anyways, what we're going to do at this point, let's, well, actually for starters, let's pop in here. Let's get 2 stacks of cheese. And let's go ahead and just make a stack of basic rat upgrades. There we go. Pull this back up, and what I would like to make right now is let's get a crafting table, and then let's get ourselves a rat crafting table, and we're just going to set this right over here, and then we are going to get ourselves a rat upgrade crafting. Now bear in mind, as we're working with rats, you can put multiple upgrades, and we will on some of these. But right now I just kind of want single upgrades in a lot of these rats. Easy enough. Let's grab that. And then we are going to grab one of our rats. Let's just take this one. Let's hop right up here. And we are going to apply the rat upgrade crafting. And then let's open this up. Well, actually, no, I need output, right? Let's put this right into there, and you could see that there's a crafting recipe here. This one's from Pam's, where it takes milk and salt and stuff. We're just going to tab through. We're going to select this recipe. Let's go ahead and grab him. We're going to say that this is going to be your home. And you are going to take items from this and deposit items to there. And we're going to set him to transport items. And then I'm going to need another rat to take items from the crafting. I mean, it should work because that one's working with taking that and putting it into the drawer. So I should think this would work. Let me get another rat real quick. Okay, so we're going to set this one to transport items as well. And we're going to set, that is the home point. We're going to say you're going to take items from the rat crafting table and deposit them into that drawer. Okay, so once we restart, hopefully this will be working. Now, before we restart, there's another thing I'd like to do. Let's take and set up this drawer right here, I think. And we're going to get ourselves another rat. Is this one done? Oh yeah, 6 seconds. So that pinky's about to be done. There we go. And we're going to set this one. I keep getting males. Maybe females are a lot more rare than males. But, I don't know. We're going to take and set this rat down on top of this drawer. And we'll have it set to stay here. And then what do we need for... Not terrible. The only downside is I don't have enough emeralds at the moment to pull this out. Okay, well I'm going to have to go try to find some emeralds. I've only got 4. But the rest of the stuff is all going to be pretty easy for us. Just basically requiring a bit of gold. And we're going to need a couple of golden rat skulls, but we can easily pull that off at this point. And I'm going to need a top hat. There is our top hat. And let's go ahead and warp over. I'm going to try to find, hopefully, a villager that will buy coal, because I have a lot of that. Oh, this one will buy wheat. Okay, that one is perfect. I don't know if I'll get enough, but we're going to try for that. How much wheat can I sell you? Because I will sell you as much as I possibly can. I'll sell you as much as you'll buy. So he's going to level up and we'll get some new trades from him. There we go. So now we can buy mulberries and green bean seeds. Okay. That's fine. I get enough now. We're going to start moving some villagers over pretty soon also. But there is our Aristocratic Upgrade. And this thing is not going to be super fast. But basically whenever we put this onto a rat, it's going to deposit coins into the inventory below it. We could also just have him drop them. If he doesn't have an inventory, he would just dump them on the ground. We're going to go ahead and put that on there. And after a while, he should... Yeah, that's still not working. After a while, he should start dropping some coins into the drawer down there. So, okay, let me try restarting the pack real quick. Okay, it looks like this one has some cheese. He may not, he may not be able to reach it. No, he's putting it in there. He took it all out, but this one will not. You're the problem child now. This one should. He seems to be behaving now. Yeah, he grabs the cheese. And very, very quickly dumps it into the drawer. It's just this one right here is not behaving. I mean, I guess. I don't know why this one will not do it. I don't know. I have to keep playing around with it. I mean, it's probably going to take me a few restarts. Once it starts working, it should work. I mean, the milkmaid hasn't had any issue. That one seems to be working now. And this one is just being difficult. If I put them into his inventory, he knows where they go. I mean, he may just be having trouble with drawers, or he may just need a restart. Oh, actually, he just dropped some. So, he did not deposit them directly into the drawer, but he did drop 2, which is pretty good. I was thinking that he would automatically deposit them, right? Yeah, he may not. So, in that case, what we'll do, let's just pull this up. Let's just pull this up and put in the drawer. And while we're at it, just because we don't have any at the moment with with any kind of equipment. Let's go ahead and make him an actual top hat to wear, just so he can hang out right here with his top hat. So there we go. We have our little aristocrat. And then what we're going to do is set this one to, actually before we set it, let's go ahead, let's get some white dye, and let's go ahead and get a whitelist filter, and we'll just open this up, right click it, and we're going to put tiny coins into there. And then what we're going to do is just add this right there. So he's whitelisted to only get tiny coins, and then we're going to tell him to gather items, and then we're going to go ahead and say this is your home point, and deposit items in there. So whenever he drops tiny coins, he should pick them up and put them into our drawer for us, and he'll just kind of hang out right in here. And I might make a few more aristocrats once we have the materials to do so. They're not that expensive, especially once we get emeralds set up, so may try to do that. Let's go ahead and make ourselves a little farmer hat for our milkmaid, because eventually I'd like to give all these little rats hats and things like that. So there we go. We got ourselves a little farmer in here for our milkmaid, and we'll just kind of let those tiny coins build up as we work on some other stuff. It's not a huge rush, really. How many rats do we have? Doesn't show me a growing time. 4. We should have a pinky in there also. That one's set to wander, so this is my parents. Let's go ahead and just drop those in and set this one to stay here, and it'll go into my rat holding area over there. Okay. Oh, our aristocrat got some more tiny coins, so we got 3 now. Looks like he drops 2 maybe every, I don't know, 5 minutes or something like that, which isn't too bad, because we'll kind of have this just running in the background. I think before long, we're going to have plenty of those, and I don't need them for next episode, to be honest. So what if instead we had that and we said take items from the chest? Yeah, he's still not taking the items. I don't know. Like, if I give him cheese, he behaves just fine, but I'll tell you what, we'll have him take items from the Curdling Station, and then that way whenever the Curdling Station fills this up, he'll start taking all the cheese and making wedges of cheese. And then maybe sometimes he'll grab it before the other rat. Yeah. He's working now. He just can't interact with drawers or chests for some reason. So I guess that's a good fix, maybe, for the time being. That'll do the trick for now. And of course you can decorate your cages. We'll probably talk a little bit more about that. Kind of like we did the breeding lantern, we can put decorations in these. So we'll delve into that probably come next episode. Oh, we got more tiny coins. But I do know that it's about wrapping up point 4 this episode. So we ran into a couple bugs, most of which we came up with some kind of solution to sort it, at least. But next episode we are going to be doing a little bit more with rats. There's a few things that I'd like to get in place before we move on to bees. Of course, we're far from done with rats, but there is a few other things I'd like to get in place right now. So next episode we're going to get into making food, and we're also going to probably be doing some auto farming with rats, because we're going to need food to make because we're going to need to actually have a farm set up to actually make the produce for our chef rats to start cooking with. So we're going to get into that. We're going to set up a little rat mess hall come next episode as well. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, as always, be sure and hit that like button and go ahead and subscribe if you're not already, to stay updated with when new videos come out. And I hope to see you guys next time. So until then, as always, do take care, stay safe. I'll see you guys then.